What's up everyone, I'm Dennis from Baristi and we're here in Long Beach, California with Frank Medrano, one of my personal biggest inspirations, and so I'm really happy that I had the chance to meet him, work out with him, and finally also the chance to have this interview. So Frank, I'm sure that a lot of people know you already, but for those who don't, just introduce yourself quickly, tell us where you're from and how you got started with calisthenics.
Once again, my name is Frank Medrano. I live in Los Angeles, California, the United States. Pretty much the way I got started is I ran into a video on YouTube watching Zeph, Hit Richards, and Hannibal. Just watching a video pretty much got me hooked and wanted to emulate the moves and learn calisthenics and get my body to be as strong and functional like they were displaying on video. That's pretty much how I got started with calisthenics.
Okay, so you would name these three as like your inspirations?
Those were my main inspirations when I first started. Zeph, Calisthenic Kings, Hit Richards, and Hannibal were the ones that I saw first and kind of gave me that inspiration to want to do this.
Nice, cool. So how did you start? You were weight training before?
I was just weight training, your typical guy at the gym, lifting weights. That's just how I started, but once again, once I saw the videos, I started to incorporate more of the body weight stuff, more of the push-ups, more of the pull-ups, dips. I couldn't muscle up for a while, but that's what I started with, the pull-ups, push-ups, dips, crunches, planks, squats, lunges. Just all the simple basics of body weight was what got me started.
Okay, and off that, how did you, when did you progress to the more advanced exercises? Would you just try them and see how far you got, or did you have like a routine that you were following?
Well, that's the thing with extreme calisthenics. A lot of people think there's a type of training or type of difficult training or exercise you need to do in order to do it. But I mean, that's pretty much, you gotta just keep it simple. The way I just did it is I just try to master the basics, the push-ups, the pull-ups, the dips, everything with perfect form, making them harder, adding resistance to my weight, many reps, slow reps, negatives. I would just perfect them, and as I got stronger and I mastered those basics, that's when I started to move a different way, move a different direction. After looking at the moves, so my body was able to get stronger off of the basics, and I just kept building up on that and just started experimenting as I got stronger with, like I said, moving this way, moving that way, and eventually my body adjusted and it just got stronger that way.
Okay. Also, you're very known from videos for your crazy balance handstands to the side, tiger bends, and handstands on the dumbbells rolling out. You never did any handstand or anything before you started calisthenics?
No, even before calisthenics, I never knew how to do a handstand. I never had good balance. I never had anything of that, but all of that really was a lot of practice. So every workout I always practice a handstand. I'll get up and I'll fall a bunch of times, but I kept doing it. I would keep doing it day in, day out. Every time I would fall, I would get back up. And you just gotta find that right balance. You find the right balance, your body will remember it, and you just keep building off of that.
Now you got the right balance.
Now, once you have the right balance, then you keep building into even stronger and more difficult.
Great. Okay, so how does your typical workout week look now? Do you just, do calisthenics, get to the park, to the gym, and do everything, or do you split it up into different body parts?
I still do weight training. I don't do weight training as much, but I do weight training, and it's pretty much all free weights. So it's a percentage of my workout. Most of my workout is body weight, but I do still do the basic compound exercises of weight training, which are your squats, your deadlifts, your bench. I still do the basics, and I do have one day where I just dedicate all body weight training, as well as in all of my other days I do body weight training. So my main thing is every day I have to do pull-ups. Every day I have to do push-ups. If it's just one set, I'm gonna do the set. And there's no such thing as overtraining with body weight. You could do it. You can train every day as long as you're feeding yourself, you're eating right, you're getting the right, you're getting enough sleep, rest. You're gonna recover. So there shouldn't be any fear of overtraining. You can do pull-ups every day, you can do push-ups every day, dips every day, but you just gotta control it and do the adequate amount of what your body can handle. And I do those every day, and that's how my body just remains to be strong. For my extreme exercises is just always every day doing the basics. As basic as a push-up, a pull-up, a dip, as basic as it is, that's what keeps my base strong. That's what makes me stronger, is just with the basics. And I do have a routine that I do, and it's not to the exact T, but I do have a routine that kind of guides me, and I can't give the gist of it exactly because it's kind of, I mean, it's a lot of different things, but you can find it at cutandjack.com, and it's posted there. And I have my split days of how I work out, what body part, and body weight, and stuff like that, cardio as well.
Okay, that's cool. You mentioned eating right. That's a very interesting topic because you're vegan, which to many people might sound strange because usually building muscle and doing strength training is always goes hand in hand with like eating a lot of meat and getting protein from animal sources. So how did you, first of all, how did you become vegan? Why did you do that?
Well, first of all, I never knew what the term vegan was until just recently when I became vegan close to 2 years ago. I just found out about it through two other friends that do calisthenics, Calestenos and Noel. And when I found out they were vegan, I was kind of curious as far as like what is that and how can they not eat meat or animal products and still look the way they do and work out the way they work out. So I decided to give it a try, and I tried it out for a few months, and with their guidance and help and doing some research online through help with Robert Cheek and vegan bodybuilding as well, I was able to structure meals because my main fear and about all of that was losing muscle and strength. So I really wanted to know I make sure I do it right and I'm eating the right foods, that way I don't lose any of that. So sure enough, after a few months I noticed my recovery was a lot faster. I had more energy throughout the day, and in my workouts, like I said, my energy was always good, and I did notice my strength increase as well, so that was another plus. So the benefits of vegan for me just really helped me out becoming a better athlete overall.
Okay, that's great. So how does a typical day for you look food-wise? Like, what would you eat in the morning or pre-workout, post-workout?
It's really not as complicated as it seems, because a lot of times when you think of meals like post-workout and stuff, you're thinking of protein for certain times of the day, and there is adequate amounts of protein and certain plant-based foods, you know, like lentils, beans, quinoa, nuts, leafy greens like spinach and kale. A typical day, say in the morning, would be maybe some oatmeal, slicing up bananas, putting some raisins in, even some peanut butter, a whole grain bread, piece of bread. Later on, maybe maybe 2 hours or so after that, I'll have some fruit. You know, you can never get enough fruit. I like to eat a lot of apples. I like a lot of pears, bananas. So I eat fruit regardless throughout the day. And accompanied with nuts. I like to eat nuts with my fruit. For later, maybe a few hours later, I like whole grain bread with peanut butter, and I use almond butter as well. And I'll put in some organic spread, organic strawberry spread. As far as the pre-workout, I would do, a pre-workout for me is just an apple, and an apple is just maybe like 30 minutes before my workout. That's my pre-workout. My post-workout, I take some Warrior Protein. I take some Warrior Protein,
which is a vegan protein.
It's a vegan protein. Okay. I'll take that as a post-workout. And the post-workout meal, I would have something, for example, like a big plate of lentils, maybe some broccoli and avocado on the side right there, and yeah, that's a typical meal.
Okay.
Say later on in the day for dinner, maybe I'll have some hummus with some vegetables, maybe some almonds, and maybe even some whole grain cereal with some almond milk. And that's a typical day. Sometimes I'll switch it around the meals. Maybe I'll have I'll have some eggplant with some mushroom or something. I mean, there's just so many options to do.
Okay.
The thing is, the way I eat is I don't count calories. I kind of eat when I'm hungry. You know what I mean? So it depending on your goals, if you want to like gain muscle, like you want to gain significant amounts of muscle, then you do have to increase your calorie intake. So you do have to eat more. But depending on what your goal is, my goal right now is just to be physically fit and be the most functional way I can at my weight right now. So I'm pretty much maintaining and building lean muscle little by little, slowly. Okay. That's my goal.
Okay, so that's a good point, count the calories, because you're extremely lean and you keep that physical shape throughout the whole year. And my question is, do you think that that's something, just how your body functions? Have you ever always been that lean, or did you notice that you got leaner once you started eating a vegan diet?
I did get leaner once I became a vegan. I actually lost a few pounds, but I had to make adjustments into my diet because I just became vegan, but I regained those pounds back. But I mean, I did notice a lot. I mean, I wouldn't say a lot leaner because I was already kind of lean, but I did get leaner becoming vegan. Before that, I mean, I was lean, but I wasn't like ripped lean, So I contribute a lot of it to not just being vegan, but the calisthenics, body weight. Body weight training really helped me burn and get my metabolism going fast, and working more muscles, getting more muscles involved, and that really helped me as far as getting ripped. Okay.
You said you don't count calories, but do you kind of try to get a certain amount of protein in by roughly estimating how much protein the foods you have?
Like I said, I don't count calories, and I don't really count protein and carbs and stuff. I'm not the guy that's gonna tell you I eat whatever and whatever, but I mean, I know what I'm supposed to eat. I know what foods has the protein, the type of carbs I need. I pretty much know, the quantity of food that I need to eat. So everyone is different. I can't tell you need to eat this exact meal because that might not work for you. You gotta find what your body takes and what foods work for you. You gotta find those foods and you gotta go. I mean, that's the way I do it. I know where my minerals, my vitamins, what foods those are in. So I just go and I eat them, and I don't really think about, okay, this has so many grams of protein, this has so many grams of carb. I know already what they have, so I put my servings and I just make my meals like that accordingly.
But you did your homework before. You know what you eat.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, everyone needs to do their homework before. So maybe at the beginning, you want to find the right foods to eat, and if, like I said, depending on your goals, if you do want to lose weight or gain weight, then you kind of got to see, okay, where are the calories and what types of foods. So in essence, yeah, if you're trying to do something like that, then in the beginning it's probably pretty smart to do that. But as far as for me, I mean, like I said, I don't count calories or anything like that because I know what to eat or what amounts to eat.
All right. So what's the best tip you can give to someone who wants to get started in calisthenics?
Well, my best tip and best advice really is always start at the bottom. If you're already getting into it, I mean, don't jump into the hard exercises. Start, be humble, and even though you're strong, even though you're already exercising, you're already playing a sport, you're already lifting weights, and and you can do pull-ups, you know, you still got to start with the basics. You got to master the pull-ups, you got to master the dips, the push-ups, and you got to do those constantly, like day in, day out. You know, you got to put your numbers in. It's like checking in to work. You know, that's how you check in, is you got to put so-and-so amount of push-ups, so-and-so amount of pull-ups, dips, and you got to make those look effortlessly in order to get on the bar or do a fancy trick and make it look good. So you gotta pretty much, that's my main, that's why I tell everyone, if you want to get really good, you gotta do those all the time. You gotta do the pull-ups, push-ups, get a lot of planks. I recommend, you know, you do a lot of planks on the floor. That way you get your core strong for flags, for dragon flags, for pretty much all the hard stuff. You know, you do all the basics, and once you get strong enough, it's something that your body will recognize. You'll know when it's your time to move to the next one. You'll know when your body is capable of moving a different direction. Your body will let you know. So once you put your numbers in, you know, and you master the basics, then you're gonna start moving a different way, and then everything's gonna fall into place. You just gotta be patient, and you're gonna get injured, you're gonna fall, but you just gotta get back up no matter what. And you're gonna have days that you're gonna think, oh man, this is too hard, this, you know, forget it. You know, those are the days that really test you, because even the best athletes have a really bad day. So you just gotta get past them, and eventually one day is gonna come where all of a sudden it's boom, oh my god, I'm doing all of this, right? And it's worth it. So it's worth the wait. I'm sure you know. I mean, I've seen you progress, so it's all, you're an example of someone that, you know, wanted to learn and you saw stuff, and look at you now, you know. So that's really good.
Yeah, that's one of the main things, because a lot of people, you know, message me, and I'm sure a lot of more people message you. Which, I mean, it's a good thing, you know, ask questions if you have questions, but a lot of questions are always, you know, how do I learn the flag, or how can I like do front levers or back levers, or how can I do a planche or something. But most of the time, for me, it was just one day they just happened. Like I was doing push-ups, pull-ups, building strength, and one day suddenly the strength was already there, so you didn't even have to try.
Yeah, exactly my point, because one day just happened because you were already doing the basics. Right. You were doing them and doing, and then one day when you decided to try it, or actually give it some time to do it, it just came out because your body was ready.
Yeah.
So
very true.
You know,
some good tips from Frank. All right. So Frank, thanks a lot for the interview. Very insightful, very helpful for a lot of people, I'm sure. Stay humble, stay patient, and get your numbers up. Anything you want to say to people in Europe?
I just want to thank anyone who, you know, watches my videos, and if I inspire you, you know, I want to thank you. You know, you watching my videos and watching other people try and progress inspires me as well. So thank you for that, and keep on doing and keep on believing in yourself.
Right. Thanks a lot, Frank.